para mí un honor tener la ocasión de estar presente en la cuarta edición del Festival de Arte y Ciencia, el Aleph, participando en un entorno virtual desde diversas partes del mundo. En esta edición hemos tenido la oportunidad de escuchar las voces expertas en varias disciplinas sobre el tema que nos convoca, las posibilidades de vida, COVID-19 y sus efectos. Si bien en estos meses y en los que están por venir existirá un intenso debate desde las ciencias, las humanidades y las artes, consideramos que es de suma importancia el que se conozca de manera directa y sin filtros la voz de la Academia China. En estos términos, es una distinción presentar a la doctora Hongying, quien nos hablará desde la perspectiva de su país sobre los efectos de esta problemática. Sin duda, su charla será muy ilustrativa para el público que amablemente sigue esta transmisión. Antes de abrir paso a su participación, brevemente les comparto algunos datos sobre su brillante trayectoria. Hongying es doctora por la Escuela de Graduados de la Academia China de Ciencias Sociales. Durante varios años se desempeñó como directora del Instituto de Estudios Latinoamericanos, del Instituto Chino de Relaciones Internacionales Contemporáneas, donde actualmente es jefa de asesores del presidente de dicha institución. Asimismo, es vicepresidenta de la Asociación China de Estudios de América Latina y el Caribe, vicepresidenta de la Asociación China para la Historia de Latinoamérica y miembro del Consejo Permanente de la Asociación China para Estudios de Nacionalidad Mundial. Es autora y coautora de 30 libros y ha publicado más de 100 artículos en las principales revistas de su país. Sus investigaciones se centran en estudios latinoamericanos, las relaciones entre China y América Latina, las relaciones entre Estados Unidos y América Latina y la liberalización comercial de las Américas. Hongying es una de las voces más consultadas en su país para hablar sobre las relaciones entre Latinoamérica y China. A nombre de la sede de la UNAM en China y del mío propio, queremos reiterar nuestro agradecimiento a la doctora Wu por su participación y, por supuesto, a nuestros colegas de la Coordinación de Difusión Cultural por la invitación a la cuarta edición del Festival El Aleph.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, my name is Wu Hongying, and I'm a senior researcher at China Institute of Contemporary International Relations. CICR is short for it in English. CICR is one of the largest and most important think tanks for China to study contemporary international relations. I used to be the director of the Institute for Latin American Studies of CICR for many years, and now I'm the director of the Center for BRICS and G20 Studies. I have been engaged in studies about Latin America for decades and have visited Mexico many times, as well as more than 10 other Latin American countries. Latin American countries and the people have left a deep impression on me. As you know, the COVID-19 epidemic is spreading all over the world, which not only poses a huge threat to the lives and the health of people around the world, but also presents a huge challenges to global public health security. At this key moment, ULAM will organize a seminar on how humankind to deal with the COVID-19 epidemic, I think it is not only very important, but also of significance. I'm very grateful to Lan for inviting me to participate in this video seminar and give 2 speeches. The topic of my first speech is China's measures and experience in fighting the COVID-19 epidemic. My speech is divided into 4 parts. The COVID epidemic suddenly attacked China. China has taken strict measures of fighting the COVID-19 epidemic. China has achieved any anti-epidemic experience. China actively participates in international cooperation. Now, I would like to talk the part 1. The COVID-19 epidemic suddenly attacked China. As we all know, at the beginning of this year, an unexpected outbreak of COVID-19 epidemic occurred in China. This is the most serious and unexpected public health incident in China since the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949. About the event, I would like to use 5 words to describe. The first word is unexpected. That means nobody expected the diplomatic. At the end of the December of the last year and early January of this year, when the Chinese people were full of joy and preparing for the most important traditional festival of the whole year, the Spring Festival. Unexpectedly, a real disaster suddenly fell. On December 27, 2019, the first confirmed cases of the COVID-19 occurred in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei province, China. At that time, local doctors initially determined that the virus is different from the SARS virus. In a highly responsible attitude towards itself and the international community, the Chinese government informed the World Health Organization on January 3, 2020. On January 4, China informed the United States about the information, and the health committees of the two countries conducted the first information exchanges. The second word is fast. That means the virus spread very fast. From the end of the last year to January 20 of this year, in just over 20 days, the COVID-19 epidemic spread very fast. The number of the people infected with the COVID-19 epidemic in Wuhan increased dramatically, as has the number of deaths. In order to prevent the spread of the epidemic, the Chinese central government decided on January 23rd to implement the lockdown of Wuhan, the capital of the Hubei province, with a population of 11 million. It is fair to say the whole city of the Wuhan pressed the pause button. The third word, extensive. That means the scope of spread of virus is extensive. Despite the lockdown of Wuhan, the epidemic quickly spread to the entire Hubei province, and then spread to 31 provinces and municipalities in China. In this way, the whole China faces huge pressure for epidemic prevention and epidemic. The fourth word is difficult. That means the fight against the virus is very difficult. The new coronavirus is different from SARS, from Ebola, from HIV. This is a new type of the coronavirus. Its source is unclear. Its transmission route is not clear, and its components are constantly changed during transmission. Therefore, the virus is called a slave virus. It is very difficult to prevent and control. The fifth word is serious. That means that the consequence resulted from the virus is very serious. The COVID-19 epidemic has greatly threatened the lives and the health of the Chinese people. Until April 22, the confirmed cases of the COVID-19 registered 82,791 and 4,632 deaths in China. At the same time, COVID-19 epidemic also caused a severe impact on the Chinese economy. According to the latest report released by Chinese government, Chinese economy in the first quarter of this year fell by 6.8%. And also, IMF also predicted Chinese economy will fall from 6.1% in 2009 to 1.2% in 2020. This means the 1.2% growth rate is the lowest growth rate since the founding of the People's Republic of China since 1949. And the Chinese economy is entering the greatest difficult situation in the past 40 years. Faced with the rampant virus and the severe epidemic, the Chinese government and the people have made active and quick response. For the central government level, Chinese government established the Central Leading Work Group for Anti-Epidemic. The group exerts an important role of coordinate, direct, plan the action against the epidemic. Second, Chinese government made important decision of the lockdown of Wuhan and the isolation of Hubei to prevent epidemic from spreading. Third, Chinese government adjusted the leadership team of Hubei province and the Wuhan city in time. Fourth, Chinese government organized and deployed national medical forces to support Wuhan and Hubei. A total of 346 medical teams and more than 24,600 medical workers were deployed to support Wuhan. Fifth, Chinese government coordinated the action of the preventing the COVID-19 epidemic from spreading in other areas outside Hubei province. Sixth, the Chinese government demanded the increase of the production of masks, medical protective clothing, protective glasses, and other epidemic prevention equipment. Seventh, Chinese government organized the production, circulation, and the supply of agricultural and sideline products and provide a good supply of coal, oil, and gas to ensure the overall stability of the country's daily necessities market so that people can stay at home. The 80s, Chinese government carried out free trade to any local patients with COVID-19 so that the people is willing to accept the treatment. In other words, the treatment of any local patients with the COVID-19 is basically paid by the state. For the local government level, the government carried out various work of epidemic prevention and epidemic control, such as implement hierarchical prevention and control. That means divided into 4 levels of prevention, including prevention and the control of the cities, counties, streets, and communities. And the government also supervise and control large-scale group gathering. And the government also close large public venues, movie theaters, museums, movie theaters, restaurants, and other public venues. The local government also identified designated hospitals for graded diagnosis and treatment, and also ensure the supply of the basic need materials for local people, and provide financial assistance to small and medium-sized enterprises, and also maintain local social order. For our individual level, every person observe the following suggestions, such as wash your hands, wear a mask, wash your hands frequently, obey the order of stay at home, try not to go to public places, try not to go to large parties, and not to eat in groups. It is precisely because of the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China and the Chinese government that 1.4 billion people are united. And after hard work, on March 18, the mainland of China achieved the first report of the 0 new confirmed cases and 0 new suspected cases. Wuhan lifted the ban, and the Chinese economy shows signs of recovery. It took 83 days and paid tremendous costs for control the spreading of the COVID-19 epidemic, and China achieved the first stage victory of combating the virus. Now, I think through Chinese anti-epidemic work, I think we could summarize the 10 experiences. First, the wise decision of the central government. The second, concentrated national resource to support Wuhan's epidemic prevention. Third, to mobilize other provinces and cities to help Hubei to fight the epidemics. And the overall arrangement of the central government, a total of 19 provinces have supported 60 prefecture-level cities and county-level cities in Hubei province, except Wuhan. Fourth, take the 4 any approaches, such as any test, any reporting, any isolation, and any treatment. Fifth, the experience is to increase the construction of the emerging hospitals, square cabin hospitals, and other medical facilities. I think the sixth experience is to encourage traditional Chinese medicine to participate in whole procession of treatment. China has successfully promulgated 7 new trial plans for the diagnosis and the treatment of the COVID-19. The seventh experience is guide public opinion. The central government released real-time data on the epidemic in a timely manner. The eighth experience, I think it is encourage network companies to participate in the fight against the epidemic. Large Chinese internet companies such as Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, ZTE, Jingdong, etc., take advantage of their own big data processing and application, artificial intelligence, 5G communication technology, and other advantages of participate in remote monitoring and diagnosis, providing medical information and other services. The ninth experience is government strives to stabilize the economy and ensure the normal life of the people. The last experience is to promote international cooperation in the fight against the epidemics and assure the image of the responsible big country with relations. As Chinese Minister of Agriculture, Antonio Walker said, the prevention and the control measures taken by China during the fight against the epidemic are rapid, professional, and transparent, demonstrating the strong political leadership and the efficient execution of the Chinese government, and set an example for Chile and other countries, and make an important contribution to protecting the peoples of the world and the global public health security. As you know, China is the earliest victim of the COVID-19 epidemic and the first country to basically control the epidemic. China's effort to prevent the spread of the epidemic in the world are not only responsible for the safety and the health of the Chinese people, but also contributing to the world's public health. China's strong measures against the virus won precious time for all countries in the world. From the China government officially informed the WHO and other countries of the epidemic information in January, to the full outbreak of the US-Europe epidemic in March, China secured a 2-month window period for the international community. At the same time, China shared the epidemic information in time and quickly shared the genome screening of the new coronavirus strain, and successfully developed a rapid testing kit. And also, China shared the experience of prevention, control, and treatment without reservation with the World Health Organization and the international community. And China actively carried out international anti-epidemic cooperation and worked together to cope with common threats and challenges. As you all know, until today, China donated US dollars 50 million US dollars to WHO to support international cooperation in combating of the COVID-19 epidemic. As of the April 10, the Chinese government has provided materials assistance including medical masks, protective clothing, and testing equipment to 127 countries and 4 international organizations. Chinese local governments, enterprises, and civil society organizations have donated medical supplies to more than 100 countries and regions and international organizations. China has shared technical documents such as epidemic prevention and control and diagnosis and treatment plans with more than 100 countries and more than 10 international and regional organizations around the world. It also established a COVID-19 epidemic online knowledge center and an international cooperation expert database. China has held more than 40 technical exchange meetings with more than 100 countries and regions through remote video. Of course, the Chinese people are very grateful to the international community for their precious understanding and support. During the most difficulties for China, a total of 170 national leaders and more than 40 international and regional organization leaders expressed condolences and support to China by telephone, by letter, by statement, by other means. In short, the COVID-19 epidemic is the common enemy of all mankind and requires countries to work together to cope with it. I always believe that sunshine is always after the wind and the rain. Only by working together and overcoming difficulties can we defeat the epidemic completely and usher in a new chapter in human development. Finally, I would like to give my friends in Mexico and Latin America 4 suggestions. 1. Wear a mask. 2. Wash hands frequently. 3. Maintain social distance. 4. To keep exercise and strengthen immunity. I wish you all good health and happiness. Thank you very much.